setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
And welcome back to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I'm glad that you've joined me. I've been thinking a lot over the last few days about what we've been hearing from, what do you want to call them? Individuals who want to tear down these monuments, those individuals. Now they want to tear down Thomas Jefferson. Next it's going to be Washington, President Washington. And what is it going to be next? We have not stood up to these liberals who want to destroy this nation. They want to erase the history of this nation. They want you to only hear their view of things. They only want you to listen to them. But they don't want to hear any other story, any other history, any other words from anybody else. They want to limit your free speech. So we see this happening every single day. I just saw it this morning on the news where people in Virginia or students in Virginia are trying to tear down Thomas Jefferson's statue because he had slaves. Well, I'm afraid that in that part of time in life, people had slaves. People had that. But that has nothing to do with today. We have individuals who want to stop the thought process of what this nation is about. This nation was derived on basic freedoms to pursue life. And through the history of our nation, we got rid of slavery, we got rid of white supremacy, we got rid of all of these evils in the nation. But it's still part of our history, and we should still hear about it just in case it starts happening again. History teaches us. History provides us with a lesson plan of not doing bad again. But people do not want to hear the history of our nation. They want to tear it down. In fact, they probably don't even know the history of the nation. All they know is that this one man did something, and now they want to destroy his name. If it wasn't for Thomas Jefferson, if it wasn't for John Adams, if it wasn't for all these individuals who worked hard at creating a constitution that gave those people who want to tear them down the freedom of speech, they would not be able to do what they're doing today. But they're going too far in trying to erase the history of our nation. They have to be stopped. You have to speak out against these types of individuals. Our history is so deep and so strong that it has taken bad things and turned them into good things. It's taken a tyranny and made it into a democracy. It's created a law that had no laws and made it into a country of laws. And yet you want people, you don't want them, but you hear about people and you see people in politics trying to take away your freedoms. They're trying to go around the law. They're trying to challenge the laws. Look at California, what's happening in California at the moment, where you have a state that's going to try and make their state a sanctuary state. They want open borders. They don't want any borders down there to protect us from people coming across illegally. They want everybody to be automatically a citizen when they come here, bypassing all federal laws on becoming a citizen. When you have a state willing to challenge the Constitution of the United States, we have a problem in this nation. And no one in California stands up for the Constitution. They only stand up for how they feel. And how they feel is not the law. But they want you to obey everything that they say because it's how they feel. That's not how America works. America works based upon a set of laws that govern us all. It doesn't, the United States does not go forward on feeling. I cannot believe how the state of California has become so out of control that they think they're right and the rest of the nation is wrong. That's what I've always said. Between New York and between the state of California, all the states in between are totally different than how those other two states think. The state of California does not think with common sense. They think on political sense. Everything that they do there, every politician that is there, wines and dines the thinkless people, the people who do not think about what they're doing. They deal upon the emotions. They're like communists who come in and they say, this is the way it's going to be and this is how we believe, and everybody else go to hell. And that's basically what California Governor Brown, Lieutenant Governor Newsom is doing, is that they're saying to the United States, we don't believe in you, go to hell. Your laws do not affect California. California has become anti-United States. Is California viable to continue business in? I don't believe so. When you have a state that is not willing to enforce the laws, that puts your business in jeopardy. That puts your personal life in jeopardy. They do not think about the right of the United States citizen. They think about the right of their political agenda only. So California has become a corrupt state. And people in California are not doing anything. They're not saying anything. They just go along for the ride. They don't care if the gasoline taxes go up. They don't do anything. They don't say anything. And the politicians there continue to pass law after law after law, putting more restrictions on businesses and individuals. They believe in those laws, but they don't believe in the laws of the United States. So I'm sorry, I am just so fed up with the state of California. Based upon their thought process, and they're willing to put political agendas in front of the needs of Californians. You realize California has the highest poverty rate in the nation. It has 20% poverty rate. They have the highest gasoline taxes, the highest income taxes and corporate taxes. They have the highest amount of red tape for any business to get through. And every single piece of government talks to the other government because they want to get revenue. The state of California, if you report a Schedule C, which is business or profession, they immediately report it to the city of Los Angeles. And then Los Angeles comes against that person for property taxes. They are so money hungry that they have forgotten about what is right and what is wrong. And they lean towards wrong every single moment. That's why I left when I was there. I was a member of the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce. I never saw them doing anything for business that was good. They did not encourage businesses to thrive. They encouraged businesses to pay more taxes, basically. And all the regulations that the city of Los Angeles wanted to do on business. Good example is not being able to find out if an individual who applies for work had a criminal record. Can't ask that question anymore. So how do you protect yourself against a state in the cities that are so liberal-minded that they are literally draining the life out of individuals who want to have a good life? People say, oh, if you don't like California, leave. Well, I did leave. I went to South Carolina. Have a minor little tiny office in Burbank, but that's about it. What I saw was a state that went completely out of control. Attacking churches and the statues that they had and marking them with paint and everything else. We have a problem in the United States where people are not willing to stand up and fight for their rights. Stand up and fight for what they believe. Go against, to be able to go against a person like Maxine Waters, who's going out and calling everybody a racist. And they're not. Just last week, I was called a racist, and I was called a Nazi. Just because I didn't agree with what an individual had said. And to discuss the point, he could not discuss the point. Instead, what he did is he called me names. This nation has become weak individually because people are unwilling to stand up for what they believe. California is notorious for that. They would much rather do the warm and fuzzy feely thing instead of standing up for what they believe. Let me tell you, warm and fuzzy gets you nowhere except down, because there's no substance there. If individuals do not create more substance in their life, it becomes very selfish. It becomes this feeling that they don't want to say anything because they don't want to rock the boat. So pretty soon, if you're a religious person, your religious views go to the side because you don't want to rock the boat by what other people think. Your moral, your ethics go to the side because you don't want to rock the boat. When moral and ethics should be the number one priority in your life, as well as God. God should be number one. Moral and ethics come with God. So, the next time somebody says something stupid, debate it. Debate it professionally. Debate it calmly. Don't call names. Debate it. If you resort to calling names, then you don't have an argument. If people are calling you names, know right then that they have no argument. All they want to do is have you believe only what they believe, and they have no argument to counter your argument, so they call you a name. It's dirty. It's low class. So once you start calling people names and saying that they're a Nazi or that they're a racist or they're whatever other name that they come up with, they have no argument. Their only view is that you don't believe as they do. That's it. So we have all these individuals who are out there spreading this hate. And let me tell you, the hate has gotten so bad in the last 2 years. Hillary Clinton ran a whole campaign